Hello, it's Burgess Taylor, and today we're going to talk about writing by hand. So, upon accident, I found myself writing my novel by hand. Actually, maybe it was synchronicity or serendipity, but when I first started writing by hand, it was because the laptop had went kaput thanks to Windows update, Windows 10 that is, and couldn't get to the desktop to write because we didn't have power for 3 hours because they were cleaning up debris for the hurricane. But what I found out was that writing with pen and paper helped me slow down my process. It helped me quit analyzing so much, and I actually created faster. They were more quality words. Now, studies show that writing longhand actually sparks your brain in a different way than writing via the computer does. And according to the Huffington Post, handwriting is actually important for brain development and cognition. So what that means, basically, is that when you write by longhand, you increase your creativity, you release that creativity in a way that writing via the computer cannot. There are other benefits to writing by hand. The screen. Not very good for you. There are studies that show that we're supposed to be technology free before we go to sleep. The computer screen, especially that bright white blinding screen, is not our friend. It makes you tired. Now in Scrivener you can change the color of that screen when you do the writing. I can't think of what it's called right now, but it's just full screen mode, I think is what it's called. And you can change the background and the color. You can actually make a black background and white letters if you want. Or you work on the computer, you can in Scrivener change the screen. But when you pick up pen and paper, there's something about the tactile, physical movement of writing pen to paper. There's something about the scratchiness of the pen against the paper, about flipping the pages. It's also less distractions. It's almost a distraction-free kind of thing, because when you're writing with pen and paper, you're not on the internet. You're not checking all those things. And if you have an idea, you can write it over in the margin, or you can write in a different color ink over to the side later on. You can also take really pretty pictures over your notebook and your pen, much prettier pictures than you can of, say, a screenshot. And like I said, there's something about that feeling of pen to paper. And also a great thing about writing by hand is that it helps prevent editing. Now, there's not a delete key when you're writing with pen and paper. The only delete you have is to mark it through. You could strike through one line so you could still technically read it. But it allows, writing by hand allows you to get everything out on the page before your brain kicks in to edit it. The misspellings, the unfinished ideas, questions that might come up, those things can come later. The editing part of it, fixing things or adding things. What you have on the paper might be a mess, but it's your mess and you've gotten the words on the page. If you don't like where you're at, you can simply skip a line and go on to the next scene or the next part. You can write a little note, a caption, need more information for the scene, need to write more for the scene. One of the best things about pen to paper to me, though, is that it's portable. You can take it with you. You can take it places where you can't necessarily have a laptop or a tablet. I don't like writing with a tablet because I like a keyboard, and I don't like those little tiny keyboards. I always have a notebook and a pen with me. I can write anywhere and everywhere. And I don't have to lug anything around with me, and I don't have to worry about whether a battery is charged. I can transfer what I've written via my notebook into Scrivener or Word, if that's your preference, or whatever other writing software. And when I go to transfer what I've written into Scrivener, I can edit as I go, in a way. I add things. I can correct spelling when I'm putting it in, but I also can add words. I'll be reading what I wrote, and then before you know it, a new idea has popped in. Well, this needs to go with that. Or this is missing a bit of dialogue, and I add it in as I go, as I'm transferring what I wrote in the notebook to Scrivener. Now, there's no right way or wrong way to write a novel. People have been writing via pen and paper for years. There are many famous authors who wrote their novels via pen and paper. You could be one of the greats. There are, like I said, a number of people who have done that. One of the things that I'd like to mention, though, before I close out, is that I used to write by hand, have always written by hand when I get stuck creatively. So this is not a new process for me. I'm just noticing that I get a lot better quality of words. Not necessarily the quantity of words, but definitely more of a quality. I don't know, and it's fun. So I hope you enjoyed this. I will see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.